When it comes to greetings in the Akan setting of Ghana, we have the time-specific greetings, we have the task-specific greetings, and we have the situation or event-specific greetings.
Ghana, my wonderful Ghana. Ghana, our beautiful Ghana. We have a story to tell. We have the best in music. The people are so nice. Akwa, welcome. We have the best in music. We have the best jollof. The people are so nice. Miawezolo, welcome. Ose, a piece of Ghana with Kwan Pa. A piece of Ghana with Kwan Pa.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to A Piece of Ghana with Kwan Pa. In this particular episode, we are looking at greetings in the traditional Akan setting of Ghana. Greetings. There are different types of greetings for different times. Again, there are different types of greetings during different tasks. And again, there are different types of greetings during different events and situations. There are a few guidelines you need to know when it comes to greetings in the Akan setting. And that is exactly what we are going to show you. Now, in the Akan setting, you can do different types of greeting. The first one is the palm to palm greeting. And this is where you meet the person one-on-one and then you stretch your hand to greet the person. Now, there are proper ways of doing this. When you put your palm in the other person's palm, you don't have to vigorously shake the person's hand. It is not done. Watch this. This is what you should not do. Please, this vigorous handshaking is not allowed. The proper way to do this, you put your palm in the other person's palm and you just do an up and down movement, and that is it. You don't keep on vigorously shaking the person's palm. So this is the right way to do it. Look at this. And it is beautifully done. Again, people are fond of doing a snap after the greeting. So they put the palm in the other's palm, and then once the greeting is done, they do a snap. Watch this. This should not be done. Please, don't snap after greeting. It is a very simple palm to palm greeting, and then you remove you draw your hand back. All right. Now, when it comes to a gathering and you are greeting, always make sure you start from the right and you move to the left. So you, the person going to greet, if it is a gathering and you want to greet, always start from the right to the left and not from the left to the right. Let's give you a demonstration. And that is the proper way of greeting when it's a gathering. You start from the right and you move to the left. Again, if there are lots of people, if it's a gathering and you cannot do palm to palm, there is another type of greeting that we call the wave. It is also accepted as a form of greeting in the case where you cannot do palm to palm. This one, we usually do it at large gatherings like funerals, where we have lots of people seated behind the core people. You cannot greet all of them palm to palm and even go to the back and greet. So the wave is allowed. Again, you don't do vigorous waving like that. No, it's just a simple wave, a simple gesture, movement to the left, to the right, and maybe if you want to add one more, fine. But don't do vigorous hand waving like this. Let's give you an example. And that is the correct way of doing the wave when you are greeting. Now you realize that the people who were being greeted, they also responded by giving a wave. Now, there are two options. Sometimes, if your hands are free and you can respond with a wave, you can also respond with a wave, just as they did. But if your hands are busy and you cannot respond with a wave, you'll respond with a nod. So you just nod, and it is in response to the greeting. In the Akan setting, when it comes to greeting, there must always be a response. There must always be a response. If it is a verbal greeting, there must be a verbal response. If it is a gesture, there must also be a gesture response. And so if they wave at you as a form of greeting, you can also wave back, or you nod in response to the greeting. And that is the Akan greeting. Now, when it comes to greetings in the Akan setting of Ghana, for the purposes of this episode, we are going to divide it into 3 classes or 3 groups. We have the time-specific greetings, we have the task-specific greetings, and we have the situation or event-specific greetings. Let's take them one after the other. Time-specific greetings. Now, this is the type of greeting you will do depending on the time of the day. For instance, if it is the morning, you greet memawo achi or memamo achi. That is for singular and plural. So if you are greeting just one person in the morning, you will say memawo achi. If you are greeting 2 people or more, you will say memamo achi. So the first one is the singular, and the second one is the plural, memawo achi, memamo achi. However, there is the contracted form which works well for both ways. Whether it is singular or plural, you can simply say maachi, maachi, and it works well for both ways, whether it's singular or plural. So instead of saying memawachi or memamwachi, you can simply say maachi. That is for morning. Now, in the afternoon, when you meet and you want to greet, you simply say memao aha, memao aha. Or if it's 2 or more people, memamo aha. So if it's singular, memao aha. 2 or more people, memamo aha. Again, the contracted form works perfectly. If you don't want to now be checking whether it's singular or plural, you can easily say maha, maha. That is for afternoon. So when you want to greet in the Akan setting right here in Ghana, you say maha. That is the afternoon greeting. In the evening, if you want to greet, you say memao ajo or memamo ajo for singular and plural respectively. Memao ajo, memamo ajo. Again, we have the contracted form majo. So if you don't want to say memawo ajo or memamo ajo, you can simply say majo. So for morning, machi. Afternoon, maha. Evening, majo. Now, in the Akan setting, when it comes to greeting, there must always be a response. So if I am the one greeting you, there's a way you must also respond to my greeting. If you do not respond to my greeting, it means that there is an issue between the 2 of us. It means there is a score we need to settle. It means we have an issue we have to deal with or to solve. So there must always be a response to the greeting. Now, let's take the responses. In the morning, if you greet, or if I am greeted in the morning and I need to respond, the person greets Machi. Now, if the person greeting me is a man who is older than me, if the person greeting me is a man who is older than me, I'll say Yeja. Yeja. Eja means father. So you say yeja in response to machi. If it's a woman or a lady who is older than me, I'll say yena, yena. Ena is mother. So if it's a man who is older than myself, I'll say yeja in response to his greeting. Whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening, I'll still say yeja. If it's a woman who is older than me, whether she's greeting me in the morning, afternoon, or evening, I'll still respond yena. Now, if the person greeting is my colleague, if we are of the same age or around the same age, you simply respond yenua, yenua. Now, nua is brother or sister or sibling or cousin. So whichever it is, nua is in response to the person who is of the same age with you. Whether it is a lady or a gentleman greeting, you still respond yenua. And whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening, you still respond yenua. Now, if the person greeting you is very young, younger than you, maybe it's a child or somebody you are way older than, and the person is greeting you, you simply respond ya oba, ya oba. Oba means child. So if you realize that the person greeting is way younger than you, you can simply respond ya oba. Whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening, you say ya oba. Now there are instances where you respond yenua to a child, somebody you are way older than. Now we do this on purpose so that the person does not feel belittled in a way. When you want the person to feel mature, you can deliberately respond yenua, though you know that you are way older than the person. It is just a feel-good vibe. We just want the person to feel good, and that is why we will use yenua, even though it's for a child. But properly, originally, or conventionally, if it's a child, or if it is someone you are way older than, you respond ya oba. Now, if it is your wife or your husband, there is a nice way they put it. If it's your wife, they say ya oyere. That is your wife. If it is your sweetheart, you say ya odo. These are variations that people still use, though not too popular, but those are also accepted. If it's your wife, you say ya oyere. If it's your husband, you say ya ukunu. And if it's your sweetheart, you say ya odo. So these are responses, different responses for the different types of time-specific greetings. We will end this episode here. Now, in the next episode, we are going to look at task-specific greetings. And with that, for instance, when you are on a task and somebody meets you, there is a way the person must greet. We are looking at that in the next episode. And then we will look at situation or event-specific greeting. For instance, when somebody is deceased and you visit the person, what do you say as a form of greeting to the bereaved? We are looking at that in the next episode. So check it out. Thank you so much. A Piece of Ghana with Kwan Pa. See you.
Yengo Ose Kano Maweninyo Maweninye Sewo Frikana Maweninye Sewo Yeganeni Ebe Maweninye Sewo Frikana Maweninye Sewo Yeganeni Gana ya Nishemaye Ose Yewo koko wo meimo Ose Yewo tima wo meimo Ose Yewo oyo wo meimo Ose Afe Kwan Pa Yewo meimo Ose Ose Kano Mese maweninye Sewu Frikana Maweninye Sewu Yeganeni Maweninye Sewu Frikana Maweninye Sewu Yeganeni Gana ya Nishemaye Ose Yewo koko omeimo Ose Yewo tima omeimo Ose Yewo bauxite omeimo Ose Afi Ejako nimo Owo omeimo Ose Palm wine music Yewo omeimo Ose Kwan Pa Yensu Yewo omeimo Ose Ose